Hello, I'm Sandy Guthrie, editor of Construction Europe magazine, and I'm at Intermat on the Kleemann stand, where I've been talking to Michael Schwarz, Sales Manager Europe. And the first question I asked him was which machines he'd chosen for the show and why.
We show two machines on the Intermat. First of all, the Mobicat 100R, and the other machine is the Mobirex 130 ZS. The Mobicat 100R is a machine for hardstone application, but it can also be used in special applications like slag crushing, or we have it in recycling application, concrete recycling, building, construction, rubble. And the reason why we show this machine on the Intermat is that we are trying to push this market segment a bit more in the future, because we are very, very strong in the segment of the Mobirex, which is normally mainly used for recycling application. That means asphalt crushing, concrete recycling, or for soft stone, mainly limestone products. There we have a very good market share. We are developing very well, and that's the reason why we show the Mobirex too.
And these machines are available all around Europe, are they?
It's available across Europe, yeah. You find it everywhere in the world, this machine.
The MR130ZS, that includes quite a few innovations.
Yeah, you are right. A lot of innovations, and I'd like to talk about the most important ones. So we start with a completely redesigned crusher box. We have optimized the inflow of the material into the crusher, because obviously the better the inflow, the better the crushing effect and the more output we have. We also changed the shape of the blow bars. It's now C-shaped blow bars for a very aggressive crushing. Also the way of fixing them is completely improved and modified, so it's very easy and fast to remove the blow bars, to change them or to turn them. Another very important thing when you have a look at the machine is the process optimization. That means we open the material flow in this machine. If you have a look at the width of the components, for example at the feeder, we have a width of 1100 millimeter, the pre-screen has 1200 millimeter, the crusher has 1300 millimeter width, the discharge feed underneath has 1400 millimeter width. That means we open the flow of material. There is no obstruction and thus no risk of blockages whatsoever. And this is one reason why this machine is has very big outputs, and yeah.
And is that what the customers have been looking for?
Yeah, this is what the customers have been looking for, a machine with big outputs and yeah, less downtimes because of obstructions or blockages in the machine.
And is this particularly for the French market?
No, we have it for all the markets all over the world. But here in France, since the introduction during the last Bauma, we have been selling extremely well our Mobirex machines. In France, we mainly sell the Mobirex 110 model, which is a little bit smaller than this one. The reason is the weight. The Mobirex 130 has a transport weight of 63 tons, which is for some customers an issue if they want to move it within a short period of time. That's why they prefer to have the 110 EVO, which has a lower transport weight. Yeah. Another strong feature of this machine is the way how we manage the pre-screen and the feeder. In the old days, when we had an overload in the crusher, we stopped the complete feeding section. That means the machine started to tumble and we lost precious time when we restarted the process. Now we do not switch off these components, but we go down to a 20 Hertz frequency. That means 20 Hertz means that it's not stopping the machine, but it stops the material flow. So there is no more shaking and bouncing during the stopping of these components, and we have a very quick restart when the crusher gives the signal ready to crush again.
And that makes it more efficient?
That makes it very efficient. We have this is also one reason why we have higher output on these machines than before. We use what you see here on the machine, our electric magnets, which are very powerful, much more powerful than the normally used permanent magnets. The effect is that you can have a bigger distance between the magnet and the main conveying belt, and if you have a bigger distance, you have less risk that some iron piece, in a concrete recycling material will get stuck there. Yeah. A very good feature of the machine is the low fuel consumption. As you see, all the components are electric. That means belt motors, pre-screen motor, feeder motors, that's all electric, not hydraulic, which leads to much lower fuel consumption compared with hydraulic machines. The drive of the crusher is a direct drive. That means from the, in this case, Scania engine, we go directly onto the V-belt and the crusher shaft. There is no loss in energy, there is no heating up of hydraulic components, and this is the most efficient system you can have, which we are using here. In between we have a hydraulic clutch in case of problems.
And fuel efficiency is so important these days.
These days, considering the price increase of the diesel, so it's a big plus, and more customers are really seriously looking for machines with a low fuel consumption and high output.
And high output, yes. Have you had a very good response from people on the stand looking at these machines?
We have a very good response. As you can see, there is always crowds of people climbing on the machine, having a look at it. We even made deals during the Intermat. It's a very successful fair for the Wirtgen Group in general and for Kleemann in special. And no, we have an extremely good, excellent response regarding our machines here.
Now, across Europe, all the different countries, are there some countries which are doing much better in this sort of work? Are there others that you would like to see more work happening in?
Yeah, the key market for the Mobirex EVO is, of course, France, because it's a very strong recycling market. And we are extremely happy that we have a machine which can cover the demand of this market. We have other markets such as the Baltics, where our machines are used, Belgium, which is a very important recycling market where we are selling very well these machines. But you find them also in Austria, in Switzerland, in Spain. We were quite successful despite the crisis selling the EVOs. There is hardly any exception where we don't sell, where there is no demand for the EVO.
What about Eastern Europe?
Even in Eastern Europe, there is a big demand because the recycling market is developing now more and more. And as I said, there is basically no exception. We sell them everywhere now.
Thanks very much, Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming. It was a pleasure.